Shalom, this is Ephraim Buchwald, and we're getting ready for the holiday season. And the holiday season always reminds me of people who are never ready for the holiday season because they don't have the funds, the family, the wherewithal to celebrate. And it's really a time where everybody should think about helping their neighbor to have a joyous holiday. And the world is filled with so much misery, but you also see how generous people can actually be. So for instance, you see all these migrants from all over the world, the Syrian migrants who are trying to get into different countries in Europe, are being shuttled from train to train, station to station. They're being rejected all over the place. And you see that a little country, Iceland, 12,000 people offered to take in refugees into their home in order to accommodate them. The government was prepared to take 50, and 12,000 people responded that they would take people in. And that reminds me of the unusual people that I've met just over the past couple of years who are so giving and so forthcoming. I remember there was a early kosher restaurant by the name of Moshe Peking. It was the first Chinese kosher restaurant. And there was a man by the name of Moshe Shashstein who owned the restaurant. Everybody knew that on Thursday at a certain time, the poor people would line up outside the door of the restaurant and he would give them a check and food and whatever they needed. Unfortunately, he died an untimely death at a very young age. And I think I mentioned that last Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, I had spoken about a woman who had two disabled children and she was being thrown out of a house. And some guy at the beginning service said, "I'll help." And he offered to give up to $20,000 to help this woman. And she didn't need all that money, but his daughter even, again, volunteered $1,000 to help this woman. It was like so moving. Unfortunately, a fellow from the synagogue got into a terrible bicycle accident, and he's fighting for his life, having been severely brain damaged. And his poor wife is sitting in the hospital. She herself is a doctor, and a lot of people have come forth to help her. But one couple volunteered that whenever his wife is not able to be there on Shabbos, they would go to this hospital in New Jersey and be there. So that means that they have to stay in someone's house in Teaneck. They had to walk 3 miles to the hospital in order to be there for him. I mean, some people are very, very wealthy. They can afford to do these things. Some people are much less wealthy, and they can afford to do these acts of caring and chesed that are really uncommon. In this spirit of the holiday season, we need to open up our hearts, to look around, to see who are in need, and to try our best to help them.